It is now getting to 70, 80 degrees in Albuquerque. Wherever you guys are at, the summer months are upon us. Spring is in full bloom. Pools are starting to get open now. I don't know about you, but it is off shirt season time. Are you ready? Are you ready to, do you feel proud of yourself yet? Do you feel confident enough? All right. My name is CJ. This is Evolve Strong with CJ. I help you lose 10 pounds and 5 inches in 28 days. And this is more true and more relevant to the majority of us at this particular point in time that want to be able to take our shirts off and be in our swimsuits and not feel ashamed when we do so out in public or around others. You know, my job is a lot more than just beautification of the body. It's about image, it's about confidence, it's about a lot more than that. And coming into the summer months, a lot of individuals begin to dread this time. And the reason is because less and less clothes are needed. And the more skin that becomes exposed, the less you're able to cover up with clothing. And especially if you're being invited to a beach holiday or you're being invited to a pool party, are you confident enough to take that shirt off and be in a swimming suit? And some of us, including myself as a fitness professional, have some weird issues when looking at themselves in the mirror. And it actually becomes kind of a problem. But the only way that I have been able to overcome that, and I'm telling you, even when I competed in OCB, I still will be competing, but not in OCB because I'm on testosterone replacement therapy now with Dr. Shaw Marie. Just because of the grueling schedule I have, I burn through my testosterone at 47 more so than whatever. It's not about aesthetics, it's about actually feeling good. And because science is around, that's the reason why I choose to do testosterone replacement. And it has been life-changing for me. Just with the ability for the get up and go and keep moving. My father died of heart failure and all different kinds of things, which I truly do believe testosterone was a big issue for him. Because that's the building blocks of your muscles, right? And the heart is a muscle. And when his testosterone began to decrease, he didn't have the necessary hormonal structures to rebuild that which was needed in his body. And so, it's in my family, and I'm taking steps in order to correct that and move forward. And I don't want to even say correct it, but man, it's phenomenal. So thank you, Dr. Shomri. That was a little aside, but moving forward, even when I was competing in OCB and as I move forward in competing in other rings that allow testosterone replacement, I would look at myself in the mirror. I won a title. I became a OCB pro. And when I became the OCB pro, I still looked at myself in the mirror and found flaws. I was not confident even during the times when I was winning. I would look at myself and I'd say, man, I need to improve that, improve this, improve that. Most people look at those pictures and say, damn, CJ, you look amazing. I get that. But man, I still have those issues, even today. I'm getting prepared for the summer months. And this is, for the first quarter and halfway into the second quarter until Rise of Phoenix is done. And a lot of times until the Gladiator football team, I would stay here and I would work 7 days a week from sunup to sundown. Well, actually, from 5 a.m. until 8 p.m. That's what I've been doing. But now I'm coming into my travel months, and my travel months include a lot of pool parties, a lot of fun times on the beach, a lot of different things where Adonis and I, go out and have a lot of fun together. And most of the time it's without our shirts and different things. And so I really had to make a decision to clean up my diet and to really focus and hone in on the basics to get my body back to where I feel at least confident enough to where I can take my shirt off in front of a whole bunch of other individuals that look beautiful. So I do experience these issues. I do. Now, how do I overcome them and how do I coach my clients in order to do so? So that you feel comfortable and confident when you take your shirts off or when you go out into public during the summer months in less clothing. Let's go back to the basics, guys. And I'm telling you, bright and shiny dulls very quick. It is the tried and true methodologies that I use consistently that provide me and my clients 100% guaranteed results. So those of you who are listening to this that are my clients that have been with me for quite some time, it's always a good reminder of back to the basics. Number one, you have to burn off your energy stores at least 30 minutes a day. You have to dedicate 30 minutes a day minimum to movement. Minimum. Now I'm telling you, there's not just burning off the excess stores of sugars and all that crazy energies, because if you don't burn it off, guess where it goes? Right to your belly, right to your ass, right to underneath your arms, right? And then if you atrophy, meaning that if you're not moving, if you're not doing anything, your muscles begin to go kaput, they atrophy, they decrease. So now you don't have anything underneath your skin. So now everything's starting to look like shit. So when you look at yourself in the mirror and your belly's hanging below your fupa, and then your arms are jiggling and your ass is crinkly, and you wonder why. Because you haven't moved. You haven't provided your body resistance in order to keep the muscles firm and strong. And sometimes you're probably eating a lot more and you're sitting sedentary by your computers and you're not burning that excess energy off. So how we combat that? Number one, movement every single day, and be deliberate, be mindful, and be consistent about it. You don't have to come to me. You don't have to go to a gym. You don't have to do any of that. Look on YouTube. It's free. Get 30 minutes of something that you can do that you find enjoyable, that you can do every single day for a minimum of 30 minutes. And you can break it down to 2 15-minute segments. Roxanne Segura, one of my first clients ever to have lost over 100 pounds. She's now down almost 150 pounds. And she's kept it off for the last 17 years. I hadn't seen her in this gym, except for Rise of Phoenix, in probably the last 5 to 6 years. Because you know what? She has made a consistent effort to go for a walk right after breakfast, right after lunch, right after dinner. She does her crunches. She does her weights when she's walking. She has figured out a system that works for her to make sure that she is moving at least 45 minutes a day. And I'll give you the second bit of information that she uses, but she's kept off 150 pounds in 17 years. And she's a busy executive female with a beautiful family. And she's very busy, busier than all of us, but she makes that time for herself. So that's number one. And all you got to do is a minimum of 30 minutes, 2 15-minute segments a day. Make it happen. Just make it happen. Instead of reaching for a beer when you get home, go out for a walk with your dog, take your wife, take your kids, take your husband, take whatever you have, or just go on your own and go, especially in this beautiful weather. Yeah, it's a little windy in Albuquerque, but you know what? Put your big boy pants on and go. Now, second thing, you have to maintain a nutrition log. You have to be accountable for what you're putting into your system. Now, listen, I'm not a stickler for what you eat. I'm really not. Now, if you really want to make effective change, you got to be more cognizant and mindful about eating or making healthier choices. But the only way that we become mindful is by holding ourselves accountable by maintaining a log. When I first started 17 years ago, and I'm talking with Roxanne, we actually just maintained a basic handwritten log where I would check. This was the accountability. This was like a handwritten, bank account, right, of what you're putting into your system. And then I would have to calculate the proteins and stuff. Today, you have all kinds of different free ways to log your diet electronically via apps. Do it. Just be accountable for what you're eating. And there's some psychological effect that occurs that if you have to put it into the system and be accountable for what you're doing, you're probably going to be more mindful and make healthier choices. Now, if you need to lose some weight, you need to have about 3 to 4 days of data of what you're doing. And then what you have to do is you have to set a max caloric load. And then you have to stick with it. You just have to stick with it. And you have to be able to say no to individuals, and you have to make the decision to make the life choices necessary to get the body that you desire. And it's hard. You have to say no to, the Buffalo Wild Wings every night. You have to say no to the pizzas. You have to say no to a lot of things and then make healthier choices. You don't have to do it always. On a Friday night, if you have a hot date with your significant other, or you're going out with friends and stuff, have a beer, go to get Buffalo Wild Wings, but earn it. And then know that you maybe have just one beer and maybe have 6 of the wings rather than, 24. Makes sense? And then along with that, I have found effective, if you really want to lose weight, you got to have days where you restrict your calories or fasting days. Maybe one meal at 500 calories and then allow the insulin to come down in regards to its resistance level so that it could affect weight loss. That's a whole other discussion. But if you're at least moving 30 minutes a day and you're doing your nutrition logging, I bet you are going to make significant changes right off the bat. And if you're plateaued or if you are gaining, you're probably not doing those first two. You probably are not doing those first two. Third and final, you got to hold yourself accountable. Quit being fearful of the scale. Quit being fearful of a measuring tape. Quit being fearful of taking the measurements necessary to get a baseline of where you're currently at to make the decisions necessary to affect change. Get on the fucking scale at least once a week. Every week. Some of you, if you need to do it daily, great. If you're doing it about 4 or 5 times a day, that probably gets a little bit much in your head. But at least once a week, get on that scale and understand what's going on with your body so that you can make the changes necessary within your diet and the intensity levels of your movement. Those are the 3 basic principles of weight loss, weight gain. That is the 3 basic principles of anything that you want to achieve in your body. Now, 4th and 5th, little extras. You got to really look at the habits that you formed. You got to break old habits. You got to form new habits. And it takes, 30, 60, 90 days to develop new habits. So, it's going to be tough to move every day if you haven't. It's going to be tough to do your diet logging. It's going to be tough, but the only way to do it is by actually doing it. And the only way to get motivated is by actually doing it. So put your big boy pants on, put your big girl pants on, and get it done. Cool. And then the 5th part, it's community. You got to surround yourself with positive people. And that's what Evolve's all about. So if you need some help in acting that and having a coach guide you along, because what we provide is efficiency and speed. That's what I do. Efficiency and speed. Everybody knows what to do, but sometimes you need that extra accountability, that efficiency and speed that you want. Because we could definitely get 5 inches and 10 pounds off you within the next 30 days to make you feel more proud on the pull. Anyways, hey guys, 505-591-4700, 505-591-4700. That is a text and a voice line. If you need my help, bring it out. Guys, also too, share, comment. Really would appreciate that. From my heart, cheers. Remember, start strong, stay strong, always be Evolve strong. Later, guys.